Hi, it's Nia here from the Bead Hold. I'm up at the shop today and we're looking at stretch magic. Stretch is one of the most basic ways we get into beading, but we can get a bit tangled up in how to do our knots at the end properly. We sell our stretch by 1 metre lengths, 5 or 25 metre rolls or 100 metre spool. When we make our bracelets, the trickiest thing is getting those knots right at the end. So let's make a bracelet together. We'll learn some tricks and techniques and we'll come out successful at the end. I'm using 1mm stretch because it fits through my beads. Always use the thickest stretch you can. It means that your bracelet will last longer. I have a clamp on the end that stops my beads coming off. These are particularly useful for adults and for children so you don't lose your beads. I've strung on a reasonable amount of beads and now I'm going to test the length. The biggest mistake we make when making our stretch bracelets is making them too short. Let's have a look. Can you see? There is a big gap between the first and last bead. What I need to do is pop a few more on. Most of the time when your stretch bracelets break, it's because they are actually too small. Just because they're stretchy doesn't mean that they don't have to be the right size. If they're too small, they will overstretch every time you take them on and off and end up popping. If we look here now, we can see the beads slightly overlap each other. If I pull it a bit tighter, they're almost meeting. So this is a great length for my stretch bracelet. If you like your bracelet to slide up and down a bit, you could add on another bead. Now we are ready to knot. Think of the most basic granny knot you do to tie your shoes. Tie one of those. You see how I'm stretching my cord out to make sure the knot is tight, and a second one. The other biggest cause of bracelets not working is you haven't pulled your knots tight enough on your stretch. You can see you can pull it quite tight. We're going to flip it 180 to the other side and do another couple of knots. Now you can be fancy and do square knots and all sorts of different things, but I am quite basic, and what I do is do 2 knots, flip 180, do 2 knots and then do the same again. I like my bracelets to be really secure. You can get a larger bead and slide it over where the knots are to hide them. But that can compromise the style of your bracelet. And what I find is that once I'm all done and dusted, the knot becomes almost invisible. This bracelet that I'm wearing today, I made about 3 years ago. It's made out of very sparkly crystals. And if we have a close look, you can see the knot here. It's slightly yellow. That's partly because of age, but look, the cord itself isn't yellow. So the reason this knot is yellow is because once I have got to this stage, I have covered it with clear nail varnish or a clear drying glue. Clear drying glue doesn't tend to go yellow as quickly as what the nail varnish does, but I really like using nail varnish because I'm probably a bit lazy and it's just quick and easy and it works really well. My bracelets made with stretch, knotted the way I've showed you, with a touch of nail varnish or the clear drying glue will last for years if they've been made to the right size and properly knotted. We do sell the tiger glue, which is a base PVA. Any sort of clear drying glue will do the trick. Don't use super glue. Super glue dries too hard and your knots can snap, and that's same with your pearl stringing and your pearl silk. I'll take my scissors and I will snip, making sure to leave a couple of mils sticking out. And here we have our bracelet, all ready to layer up and wear. I've made another stretch bracelet to go with the ones on my wrist. This one I've used a large hold bead. This is specifically to cover the knot that the stretch will make. So we will knot off like we did on the last one. You can already see that that bead is hiding the knot. When you have a nice big hold bead like this, this is one of our gorgeous porcelain Pandora style beads, you can do quite a few knots, and I'll often do quite a bunchy ugly knot, 6 or 7 or 8 all on top of each other, because I can hide it, so why not? So continue to knot away, then you will glue or nail polish in there, snip snip, a little adjust. Thanks for watching. I hope you now feel confident to go forth and conquer stretch magic.